Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And this channel, I try to get on here and just tell my truth, tell my story every day, my story, my personal struggles that I've gone through and things that I've learned from. And today, I had several different videos that I was going to make today, actually. I have them in my notes. I was going to make a video about where has the time gone, based on this Judy Collins song that I love, that I was listening to last night. And if you've never heard it before, look it up. And there's a live version where she talks about the first time that she's ever heard that song was at the Chateau Marmont, and then her producer was like, "You're going to want to sing this song." And it's a song that's basically about aging, and as you get older, you look back and you're like, well, where has the time gone, and what did I spend my time doing as I was growing older, and what did I spend my time focused on, and who did I spend my time with, and things like that. And I was thinking a lot about that, and I wanted to make that video, and I am going to make that video. But that's kind of been in my head the last 24 hours. And, then I had on here that I wanted to make a video about the fact that not everyone in life is going to like you, I put. And that's okay. You don't have to like everyone either, but we can be kind and considerate to one another. These are statements when you hear people say things like, I don't know, when I used to work, in a treatment facility, I had a lot of people that didn't like each other on the team, right? And so they'd say, "Oh, I can't stand her," or they would constantly be bad-mouthing her behind their back. And, I'm not really that person, honestly. I know that I gossip and all that kind of stuff, but you will know how I feel about you to your face. And I don't ever really dislike somebody. There are people that I don't respect. There are people that I don't give my energy to or my time to, but that has been a learning experience in my life. And when I look back, if you go back to the other video, when I look back on my life and I think about the people that I really spent a lot of time on negatively, if that makes sense, people that were really toxic and negative in my life, a lot of times I have given them more energy and more time than A, they deserved, and B, than people that loved and cared about me in my life. And I'm not willing to do that anymore. And the last year of my life, specifically, personally and on YouTube, has been a year where I've really I've really looked into who are the people in my life that really matter. On my deathbed, when I look back, who are the people that are going to have made, profound changes in my life? Who are the people that have, been supportive of me, been compassionate, been kind? Who are the people that I want around me? Who is in my tribe, if that makes sense? Kelly Catrone, who wrote a book called If You Have to Cry, Go Outside, a fantastic self-help book. Well, she said she doesn't consider it a self-help book, but she said in there that, we have to find a tribe of people that are like-minded around us, that have our best interests in mind, and that when they challenge us out of love and consideration, not negativity, hatred, and toxicity. And I think that's really, really important, because I think a lot of times in life, we listen to the negative because it's maybe more interesting or more drama-filled or whatever. And I think this is why, to be honest, why my videos on my drama channel don't really get the views sometimes that other channels get. And I'm totally fine with that. But I'm not really I think if you watch those videos, and I'm not saying anything about anybody else's video content out there. They can do what they want to do. And I find some of it entertaining and funny at times too. But mine is really not cutthroat, if that makes sense. And, even I was thinking about this when I was doing my video for that channel today, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was a much different person over there. I mean, I was kind of edgy. I just said what I wanted to say. And as I've, grown on YouTube, I've really thought about who I want to be. And if I met that person in person, what I would want to say to them, because on the other side, they're just a human being. And, I think that's really it. And a lot of times we have to think about, who are we giving our energy to in this world, We only have so much energy, in our lives. And I was talking to my husband about this the other day because he was like, I feel like if we're not on vacation, I only get to see you a couple hours a day, 2 hours, 3 hours a day where we're awake and together eating dinner or with the dogs or whatever. And I said, I've said this for years and years and years. And it's people say, oh yeah, that's true, but they don't really listen to it. So listen to this, okay? If you work a full-time job, you spend more time with the people that you work with than your own family and friends. That's just a fact, right? You spend more one-on-one time with that person or those people, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, than you spend with their friends and family. You don't spend that kind of time with them. You really don't. You come home, you make dinner, you sit down, you eat, you watch TV, you're on your phone, you're talking to people on the phone. It's like, it's a different kind of interaction, right? But when you think to yourself who's most important to you, well, then it is those people that you love. You wouldn't necessarily, I mean, a lot of us, I think, have great working relationships, which I think is fantastic. I feel so blessed for have so many years worked with people that I had fantastic relationships with, and I wouldn't go back and take any of that away. I mean, it was fantastic, but because of that, I was willing to overwork. I was willing to stay late for work and all this kind of stuff. And that, minimized the time that I spent with people that I dated, my best friend, friends of mine, things like that. And it really affected me long term. And I had a friend of mine say, probably 15 years ago, her husband died, and we were talking about it. And, I said, what do you think would be like a message that he, at the end of his life, would have said? And this was a man that worked, no lie, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, his whole life that I knew him. And she said, I can tell you what because he died of a heart attack. And she said, I can tell you what he wouldn't say. He wouldn't say, I wish I had worked more. So when we think about that in the context of who are we spending our time with? Is it coworkers that we have to be with? Because most of us have to have jobs where we're paying the bills, we're paying the rent and all that kind of stuff, right? And the mortgages and the kids and all that kind of stuff. But when you think about who you really want to spend your time with, then that means that those hours that are yours, those hours outside of a work environment or when you're doing something that you don't have to do, should be spent with people that you want to spend it with. It shouldn't be spent with people that are toxic and negative. And I work really hard in my life today. I don't pay any mind to that. I really try not to, and it's difficult. There are days where there's a lot of toxicity coming to me, even in my personal life, my YouTube life, my professional life, whatever, where I just feel inundated with negativity. And it is on those moments that I have to say to myself, you have a really blessed life. You live a life beyond your wildest dreams. Instead of looking over here, okay, at this fraction of negativity that is coming towards you, look at this huge pie of positivity that is coming towards you. I've used pies and analogies in my vlog lately and all my videos. I don't know why, I don't know what that is. But I think that for me, I have to think about that. I have to really think, where am I giving my attention? Am I giving it to negativity or am I giving it to positivity? And you're never going to get what you want out of negativity or toxicity. You're never going to change somebody's mind, okay? And like I said, there are going to be people in your life that don't like you. That video is coming too. And that's okay. People don't have to like you. Most of the people that don't like us don't even know us. They might think something different if they met us in person and spent some time with us. But the majority of those people will never, they know us from a desk across the workplace. Or, they know us because we have some friends in common. Or we know them from Facebook or something like that, right? Or YouTube. But the reality is that most people that pass judgment that quickly really don't know you. The people that really know you, they know who you are. You know who you are inside. And that's all that matters. And in the last year, specifically, since I would say November of last year, December, January, since I've been focusing on the people in my life that love me, that are there for me, that are compassionate, to you guys out there that are so supportive of me and so, watch my videos and watch my vlogs every day, since I've been focused on that attention. And, the people in my life and my support network and my recovery network, those people, okay? When I have started to focus on the positive energy in my life, positivity has come back to me. And I'm a true believer that when you focus your energy on negativity and toxicity and hatred, that is what comes back to you in return. I really believe that. And I don't necessarily think it's a metaphysical, philosophical kind of thing. I don't believe that it's like a karma. I don't know what I think necessarily about karma. Honestly, I don't. I just think that when you're negative-minded and you put negativity out there in the world, you are surrounded by people that think the same way you, and then you attract a tribe of negative people. Negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive, okay? I choose to be with the positive today. in my personal life. And I don't have to use any examples of that or show any of that. I just know that inside. I know how I think. I know how I think through things. And in my vlog the other day, I was talking about my pause button, and I get so many messages from you guys talking about how you use your pause button on a daily basis. There are moments, okay, when I want to go off at the lip. There are. And there are even moments that I do go off at the lip. I'm not perfect, obviously, None of us are perfect. But in those moments, since I have been practicing more and more, hitting the pause button, thinking to myself, okay, down the road, looking back on this, how will you want to have responded? Like looking on yourself, like how will you want to have thought to yourself, wow, I'm proud of how I behaved, or I'm not proud of how I behaved? Does that make sense? And so I really think through those things today. And I really think about like how I respond to people and if I react or if I respond, because there's a difference. Reacting is like, responding is hitting the pause button, thinking about it, and then saying or not saying your piece. A lot of times today, I say nothing at all. A lot of times today, I choose not to comment. A lot of times today, I realize my place is not in another conversation, if that makes sense. I was sitting, outside of a meeting the other night, and some people were having this conversation, and I had an opinion. You know me, I had an opinion, right? And I was sitting there, I literally was almost like biting my tongue. I was like, did you ever do that? I was like, this is not the conversation for you to get into. You have nothing to say here. It's none of your business. Stay out of it. And I did, and I drove off and I felt much better about myself. I don't always have to be in all of that, right? If you want to change the condition of your life, if you want to change how you feel on a daily basis, I'm telling you, start focusing on the positive. People that say they are positive, people that say they believe in positive, you will know because that is what you will see when they put out what they put out there in the world. People that say they believe in positivity put positivity out there in the world. They don't put negativity out there in the world. People that are negative put negativity out there in the world. And I don't want anybody to be negative. I don't, Like I've said on my channels before, I have had periods of my life where I was very negative. Glass is half empty. Let me tell on this person. I'm gonna tell the truth on somebody. I've been there. I've had those moments. I think we have. Have you ever just wanted to tell on somebody so bad? You just wanted to tell on them so bad so the whole world could know. You know what I mean? And it could be anything. It could be a coworker, and you're like, she stole my idea. That was my idea, Or, a friend, it could be anything. It could be a group of friends, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, all these different things about people. What do you have to gain by that? Nothing, okay? What do you have to gain by, at the end of the day, having hit your pause button and knowing that you controlled how you spoke and what you said to people, and that your words didn't hurt or harm anybody? They, in fact, uplifted somebody. Well, I feel better about myself doing that, I can use my tongue for viciousness, or I can use it for positivity. And today, I choose to use it for positivity with myself as well. And that includes self-talk, right? Where I talk to myself in positive terms and I try to build myself up and I say positive things to myself, because I don't have to be an asshole to anybody, including myself. And sometimes, by my actions and the things that I say to other people, I'm really doing more harm to myself, if that makes sense. And I don't think any of us want to feel that way. I want everybody out there, and I truly mean this. There's not one person I can't think of on this earth that I would hope for redemption and to have an amazing life. Because if I wish for less for somebody, then I'm wishing for less for myself. And we have to want for others what we want for ourselves. And we have to see that everybody has the same abilities to rise above it and be better people and to remain teachable and to be positive. I want that for everybody. I want everybody in the world to find love and to have great friendships and to have an amazing life. I want that for everybody. I can't ever imagine why anybody would want somebody to have less than that. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.